Help me welcome to the stage the one, the only, Ed Mylett!
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Stop. Thank you. Thank you. Grab a seat. I'm embarrassed. Thank you. What a great introduction. It sounded like 3,000. That was awesome. Can I just tell you something? Can I tell you something? I'm really honored to be here. These are the nicest people. And y'all have been so good to me, except the dude at the gas station. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I love you. Thank you for being here. And this is going to be awesome. Listen, I just want you to know. There are things you get to do, you have to go do in your career. I was in Boston last night speaking to about 10,000 people, and that was really cool. Spoke to the Red Sox during the daytime. I work with a few of those guys, and I was looking forward to that. I was really looking forward to this. I'm an Idahoan. Is that what you call it? I don't know if you all know this, I lived in Coeur d'Alene for 20 years, and I miss it tremendously. My wife almost divorced me when we left, so I feel some pressure today, like to make this a life-changing experience for you all. So, are you open to that? That like an hour from now we're all a little different? Cool. I'm gonna give you literally my best. And some of the stuff I'm gonna talk about today I haven't talked about anywhere else. So it won't be just the same things you've seen me talk about. Gotta tell you about the guy at the gas station first. So I flew in last night. By the way, my team I have an interesting team. So I'm blessed in the fact that life's gone pretty good, so I usually don't fly commercial, but this is a really long tour, and I end up in Austin tomorrow, and doing a guy who's got a little podcast there you probably heard of before, and then I'm doing some medical treatment. But anyway, I did not take a plane. I flew commercial, and my team's like, it's Twin Falls, Idaho. You just fly into Salt Lake City, and you just punch right over there in the morning. So it's 3.5 hour little punch ride I made over here. My team had a really aggressive phone call with me on the way here this morning. I let them know I'm gonna have to go 3.5 hours back to Salt Lake City tonight as well. So, but anyway, beautiful drive. Anyway, I get here after this 3.5 hour long drive, and I'm always telling people, if everywhere I've lived in the country, the nicest people are in Idaho. And that's true. I'm not saying that to be nice. You all know this. Like, it's just good folks, right? For the most part. I'm sure you got a neighbor you don't like, but most part, it's good people, most part. I pull into the gas station, I walk in there, and the guy, he's working in there, and he goes, hey, has anyone ever told you that you look like Ed Mylett? And I go, and I'm grabbing a drink, and I go, yeah, man, I hear that once in a while, but man, he's really good looking. And he goes, yeah, well, like you're the older version of him. And then I talk for a minute or two more and hand him my credit card, and he's like, oh shit, sorry. I'm like, how much older do I look than Ed Mylett? I'm gonna send him an email and let him know that I look like him, but much older evidently. Can you believe he said that to me? Sheesh. Anyway, a couple things I want you to know as we begin. And you probably don't believe me when I say this, but I believe this about you. Number one, that video is, I always say, it's kind of cheesy. One of those houses was my Coeur d'Alene house on Lake Coeur d'Alene in Micah Bay. Such a beautiful place. Dang it! Shouldn't have sold that house. But I got to tell you, here's who I really am. I'm the son of an alcoholic and a drug addict. In fact, yesterday would have been my dad's sobriety birthday on April 20th. Only my dad would get sober on 4/20. Those of you that don't know what that means, you're going straight to heaven. And those of you that do know what it means, you're gonna have a bumpy road there. And actually the week before was my dad's actual birthday. So anyway, it was a little bit of an emotional day for me. But that's who I am. And I'll be 55 on Monday. And I don't think I'll ever lose the fact that I grew up that way, with that anxiety and stress in my home. So that's who I really am. I'm the son of a drug addict. And I'm not impressive. There's nothing special about me. I don't want you to believe there is, because if you believe there's something special about me, then maybe it would give you like an excuse not to go win and be happy, as if I'm something special. And a lot of speakers sort of posture themselves a particular way. I'd be lying. There's nothing special about me. And the other thing I am is I am a Christian. Whatever your faith is, I admire it. I'm a sinner saved by God's grace. So I make mistakes all the time in my life. And so I'm certainly not a perfect person either. But I've learned a lot over the years. And one of the things I've learned about God's children, and this includes you because you're one of them, is you were born to do something great with your life. Let me say it to you again. You were born, you were made. The reason you exist is to do something great with your life. And all your life you've known it. And for some of you it's happened, but for the vast majority of you it's not yet. And the reason is the world started to kind of convince you that you're disqualified, or that you're just average, or you're invisible, or there's something deficient about you, or you come from the wrong place, or some of your sins or mistakes disqualify you, or it really doesn't even matter anyway. And I'm here to tell you, you were born to do something awesome with your life. And you know it when I say it. You may not believe you can, but you know you should, and you know you could. So what we're gonna talk about today is maybe making that happen. Here's the other lie in life. People think, the Bible says, and I won't be preaching at you the whole time, by the way, but the Bible says where there's no vision, the people will perish, meaning they don't exist if they don't have a vision for your life. What I admire about you is that you're here today, you've invested something, either your time or money or both, in yourself. That means you really believe there's another level for you. There's something, you should be happier. Maybe wealthier, if you think that would make you happier. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. Or that you should be giving more, or your life should have more meaning. I know you believe that about yourself, otherwise you wouldn't be in here in the middle of the week. You ought to acknowledge that about yourself. Here's the lie. Most of you have vision. What you have is a vision issue, and I suffered with it in my youth as well. You have a depth perception problem. You believe the life you want is further away than it truly is. And because you believe it's that far away, listen to me, you've created thoughts and patterns, beliefs and habits. Hi, by the way, good to see you. Did you see the chain show up there? Do you see that on the screen? Yeah. Did you know that you're really only one decision away from changing your life? That's how life works. It's much closer than you believe it is. You're one decision, one new thought, one new hour, one new relationship, one new connection, good or bad, from changing your life. My limo driver in Boston last night was the most wonderful lady, and I like to talk to everybody, right? I do a podcast with everybody that I meet. And I started to ask her about her life. I had a sense that there was a sadness about this woman. And yesterday was the Boston Marathon. And she said, I guess I'm a little bit extra sad today because my son ran in the Boston Marathon 4 years ago. We were so proud of him when he finished. And I said, well, tell me about your son. I'm sure you're proud of him. And she says, well, I was. But my son made a decision one night to drive while intoxicated. And he hit somebody with his car and he killed them. He'll be in prison for the next 15 years. And I miss my son every single day. That one decision changed that young man's life. It's also true to change it in a favorable way. Does that make sense? Everybody say yes? So what we're going to talk about is some of those decisions. Why is it so important that you're investing in yourself today? Because here's why. You're only going to get out of life, this is just after 30 years of watching people and watching myself. When you grow up with a drug addict or a drunk dad, here's what happens. You have no self-esteem. Mental health issues run in my family, all throughout it. Including me, if I'm being honest. I still have to work really hard at liking me most of the time. It's wonderful that other people like me, but in my alone time, do I really like me? Never mind love me. Do I really like me? I just want you to know you can win in your life and not have it all together up here, because this dude doesn't have it all together up here. I could give you one of these speeches if you want, like I'm in front of 20,000 people, and I could tell you about my jet and my mansions and the island. You want me to do all that, I could put on a front for you. Or we could have a real conversation today that changes lives. I still struggle with liking me. All the time. By the way, so do most of those people you saw in that video that have been on my show. I've become very close to them, and you want to know why? They're still looking for somebody to believe in them in their life. Please put your phone down if you could while I'm going. And so the reason I think it's so important what you're doing is your belief in yourself. This is a big deal. You have an identity that you've developed about yourself. Your identity is the thoughts that you hold to be the most true about you. What you believe you're worth, what you believe you're capable of, how you believe the world treats you. And this is something you've established. Now, I established mine as a drug addict, alcoholics kid, with all the yelling and the stress in my home. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was never a little boy. I had to worry like a grown man by the time I was 4, 5, 6 years old. Always on edge. Who's yelling? Who's getting hurt? Was daddy coming home? You know what I'm talking about if you come with a divorce or dysfunction. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So I had a long way to go. The reason that people call me the GOAT of speaking or personal development, can I tell you really why? Because I had the furthest to come to get to be normal. I had to learn all these things just to become a functioning person. Never mind a guy worth 800 million or whatever the heck they say I'm worth. I had to just get to there. So all these strategies. Here's this identity thing. Let me tell you how it works. It's like a thermostat setting on your life. And you have multiple ones. Perfect room to have an event in, Carrie. And one of the things that's wonderful about this room, temperature in here is probably, I don't know, 73. It's pretty nice. That thermostat setting regulates this room at 73. Would you agree, yes or no? It's 80 something outside right now, but it regulates it at 73. So it's not the external conditions that dictate the internal temperature. By the way, I'll bet sometime this winter it was probably like 30s or 40s here, maybe colder. I bet they kicked the heater on in here and kept this sucker at 73. That's how your life works. You have an internal thermostat setting, and you have multiple ones. You have one for wealth. You have one for happiness. You have one for peace. You have one for fitness. And whatever that's set at, if you don't change your identity, you can get all the tactics, all the skills, all the access, all that stuff in the world. But when you start to exceed, you ever seen somebody who's got a 73-degree financial setting? All of a sudden, business is going pretty good. They made a little bit of money. They're at 80, 85, 90. Some of you must have a friend or you just like this. And all of a sudden, it seems circumstantial. Oh my gosh, the market changed, COVID, supply chain, whatever. You see them 3 years later, what they do. They turned the AC on of their life and they cooled it back to 73, didn't they? Yes or no? Yes or no? You ever seen somebody who's got a 73-degree fitness thermostat? Maybe they're 15, 20 pounds overweight. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But if you say, I want to get to 85, 90 degrees of fitness and get jacked and ripped, you see them all of a sudden, man, you look great. What are you doing? They're like, I'm on the Atkins. I'm on the GLP-3 shot or whatever, right? You see them, they look great. You see them 2 years later. What happened? They put the weight back on. They turned the AC on because they did the physical stuff right. They didn't change the internal thermostat. I watch this all the time. I watch it in happiness. Someone says, I'm only worth 70 degrees of happiness. Man, they got good stuff going in their life. They can't find a way to stay at 95 or 100 degrees because they don't believe they're worth it. It's the internal governor of your whole dadgum life. You ever seen somebody with love in their life? Man, you got this girlfriend of yours, she's at 70 degrees all the time. You see, oh my gosh, she's in love. They're making out at the dinner table. You're like, what the heck? He's like, she's the one. He's amazing. Run into her in 2 years. Hey, where's Dave? It didn't work out. He cheated. We grew apart. Maybe, more than likely, you picked the wrong guy and you turned your thermostat setting right back to 73. The reason it's so powerful, this is good. The reason it's so important that you're here is things are happening to you today that you don't even realize are happening and they're not in your notepad. You're investing in your thermostat setting. Through the power of association, by getting to events, by hearing speakers. I watched it in my own life. I didn't know it, but I was going from 73 to 75, to 78 to 81. And then when I matched that up with the right opportunity, the right circumstances, the right whatever, when I got there, I turned the heater on, not the air conditioner. Make sense? That should be a louder yes, because that was really good. That's some deep stuff I just told you right there. So I want you to continue to invest in you. Now, the number one investment I've made in myself, and this is okay if it's not yours, I just need to say this because there's 300 of you in here, I'm gonna be vulnerable. My number one thing I do to invest in myself is my prayer life. I know how he made me. I know he holds me in the palm of his hand. I know he made me in his image. And the more I get closer to him, the more I feel pretty good about me. Because he loves you more than even your own parents love you. So that's number one, but that doesn't mean that I don't read about how to communicate better, how to get more fit, listen to podcasts, read books, go to events. All of a sudden, over time, you start taking the right actions, match. There's a great book called Think and Grow Rich. I wish that's how it worked. You don't just think and get rich. You think and do. My book, The Power of One More, if I tell you, is a combination of both. What to think and what to do. And when you match those two things, Life changes. Let me prove something to you. Let me show you. I want to sell you the dream a little bit. How many of you like to be wealthier? Nothing wrong with that. It'd be cool. The reason I went into business when I was young, I wanted to be rich. I was tired of being poor. I grew up in Weymouth, Massachusetts when I was a little boy, and we lived on welfare. And it was embarrassing. I remember going to the grocery store, my mom paying with money that looked like different money than everybody else's. And I remember her just praying that they didn't have to call someone to the counter, for a price check or whatever, and she'd have to show them our stamps. I know exactly what that's like. Or just back in Boston, I just kind of came back to that. The reason I tell you this is, I thought I wanted to get wealthy for whatever those reasons are most people think. And I do think being rich is better than being poor. I do. I've been happy rich and happy poor. Happy rich is way better. It just is. Right, I'm not going to lie to you. Don't you hate when rich people go, it's nothing to be rich, just liar. It's super cool when your family needs something to be able to deliver. Every once in a while, it's pretty cool to make sure your family lives in a safe neighborhood. Eat one of those great steaks that you can only get when you're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Good bottle of wine's better than a crappy bottle of wine. I'm a cigar smoker. Don't hold that against me. A good Cuban is way better than whatever crap you're buying at a strip mall. It just is. Having said all of that, it does not make you happy long term. Making a difference for other people, that'll never end. I'm just telling you. Let me give you an example. I was on podcasts for years and I'd get interviewed and they'd say, well, what dreams does Ed have that he's never had before? I said, well, I like to own an island. I'd like to have my own island. That's just I don't even know I wanted it. You ever have a dream? You're like, I have no idea if I actually really want this, but someone else said it somewhere and it sounded cool. You know what I'm saying? Mine was to own an island. So sure enough, it was a God thing. I was taking my daughter on a recruiting trip to Boston University. We now lived in California in Laguna Beach. And I took her to see where my grandfather's house was. And while we're at my grandfather's house in New Hampshire, this phone number keeps ringing from a number I don't recognize. And my daughter's like, Daddy, they keep calling you. Like, just answer it. And I'm like, Bella, you don't know how many calls I get. It could be. She's like, Daddy, I just have a feeling you should answer it. Answers. Lady says, Mr. Mylett, don't hang up. My name is Jasmine. And I've heard you on podcasts many times say you have an island. You would love to own an island. And I know you live in California, but if you ever happen to be in New England again, I have an island I just listed for sale. I said, where? She said, off the coast of Portland, Maine. I said, Bella, look up Portland, Maine. How far away? She goes, 45 minutes. I go, this is going to sound really weird. I could be there in an hour. Is that crazy? You imagine you're her, just randomly calling me because she heard it in some sales course. Just keep calling. You know, you hear that stuff. Just follow up. I know you'll never be in New England. I'm like, down the street. You imagine? And I said, I'll be there in an hour. You better get that thing ready to show me. It's not like a house. It's an island. I won't ask her if she's got permission from the family who owns it or the company or whatever. And when we're done, we hang up. I said, what's the name of the island? She says, Hope Island. Oh. I hung up. I go, Bella, I'm buying this freaking island. We take the boat out. The guy that takes me out on the boat out has a prosthetic leg. It's about a 15-minute boat ride. We come around the corner. I see the island. It's 100 acres. It's just ridiculous. And I tell Bella, I go, Daddy's buying this island. Act like we don't want it. So we tour it for like 6 hours. We get back on the boat and the guy takes me back. He goes, you gonna buy it? I said, you know these people? He goes, no. I said, all right, yeah. I said, tell me about your leg. He goes, I lost it in Vietnam. He goes, that place, by the way, a great thing for the hunts we do for these vets I do with PTSD. I go, yeah, that'd be cool. That's all he says to me. I buy the island. Wasn't even that well, it was expensive. It was like $10 million. I've since put $100 million into it. Cash. True story. Built a golf course on it. People are like, hey, what are you doing with this oceanfront golf course? I'm like, playing golf. Who gets to play? Anybody who's nice to me. There's no dues. I got horses, deer, ducks, geese, saloons, gyms, pickleball courts. It's nuts. It's probably now the coolest property in the United States, maybe the world. It really is. But I bought it out of ego. The guy on the boat, his name's Bill. He's in his 70s. He used to be a pilot for United Airlines. I love him. And I hired him. After I had the island for like a year or two, we're doing all this construction on it, and it's still under construction right now. In fact, I'll be there in a few weeks. It's like the golf course still isn't finished. But anyway, he goes, remember that hunt? I said, nah. He goes, yes, you do. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, look, I belong to this organization of vets with veterans, severe PTSD, Ed. So we take these men on hunts that most of them don't communicate verbally anymore, but they go on these hunts where they just spend time together for 2 or 3 days. It's therapeutic for them. I think the island would be the perfect place to do it with the horses and the deer. And I said, well, we have 200 deer on the island and it was being overrun, but I wouldn't kill any of the deer. And even the local people were like, you need to kill some of these deer. So we found a way. I said, all right, I'll do one of these hunts. And what we'll do is we'll harvest the meat. And we'll take it to the homeless shelter, which is a fortune. And they did the first hunt. I forgot we were doing it because it was in the middle of winter. I don't go there in the winter. I live in Florida now in the winter. I happened to show up there, and I get there, I get off the boat, and a couple of the people that work on the island for me said, Ed, yeah, they're in the middle of that hunt. The vets are staying in the blah, blah, blah house over there. You don't want to go down there. I said, why is that? And they said, Ed, these guys don't talk. Many of them are very odd guys. And I said, okay, I won't go down there. So they take this golf cart with me up to my house, and I look down, and they're about to have dinner, these vets, these veteran men. Just lean in here with me, okay? This is why I want you to have prosperity. And I look down at these men, and a couple did have prosthetic legs. And I got past them. And I'll just tell you what I think it was the Holy Spirit, but you could just say intuition. And I looked down at these men, and I was like, I'd be honored to go meet them, actually. And they're better men than me. It's not even close. I said, take me down there. And Bill, the dude who organized, goes, don't. These dudes, it's even a different group. They've been here 2 days. They haven't talked to each other. A couple of them are smoking. I said, take me down to the dinner, man. He drives me down, and I walk. They're all gathered outside. They're about to go in and eat in this little room, and all of them have their head down. And I just walked up. I said, hey, guys, I'm Ed. I own the place here. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of eye contact. We sit down at the table. Now, I don't know if you ever had this happen. We sit down at the table for about 10 minutes. It's dead silent. No one's looking at each other. It's getting so awkward. You ever been in a room that's so awkward, you don't even look to your left or your right because you're like, this is weird. You know what I'm talking about? So finally, they bring the food out, and I said, hey guys, okay with you if I say a blessing really quick? So I say a quick blessing, bowed their heads, I said a prayer, and I just want to tell you what happened. As I look up to my left, and this man I've still not looked at, this man says, sir, I could tell it was an older man's voice before I look, and I look, this man's clearly in his 70s at least. Turns out he's 84. He said, sir, I just want to tell you this is a dream of a lifetime for me. And it's been an amazing experience to be here on the island. I'm a New Englander myself. I'm from Connecticut. I've come by this island as a little boy many times, wondered what it looked like, and I lost my sweetheart. Listen to this. My wife of 60 years 3 weeks ago. I know she's smiling in heaven that I'm here. My name's Ollie. I said, Ollie, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Do you mind me asking what war you served in? The Korean War. All of a sudden, I don't know if you've ever been in a room kind of like this one, the spirit just shifted a little bit. I'm getting goosebumps. Wow, thank you, Lord. The spirit shifted in the room a little bit. This guy over here says, sir, my name's Victor from South Central Los Angeles. I lost my leg in Vietnam. Don't like to talk a lot about it. I was a medic. The third day there, I picked up my best friend's eyeballs, and it changed my life forever. I've never really quite been the same. Then the room shifted. This young man over at the end of the table said, my name's Derek, sir. I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana. I did 4 tours in Iraq, 3 in Afghanistan, 1 in Kuwait. And this young man shared some things that I won't repeat. And then these men just started to almost all of them weep. This man over here got up, talked about what happened with him in Afghanistan. He went up and over and hugged Derek. These dudes have been there 2 days already with no communication. Most of these men haven't talked about these things ever in their lives. Let me just show you something. That's them. That right there, by the way, just so you know, is 3:30 in the morning. We got there at 7 p.m. Nobody left. And something shifted in the room that day. And I'm just going to tell you something. I went, oh my God, this is why I own this place. It's not like some rich guy flexing for some stupid ass golf course. This is going to be a place where people come to get hope again. They're going to heal. Now, I had nothing to do with any of that. That's all God and these beautiful men. But if I didn't plant these seeds in my life, there'd be no harvest for these men. You have to start. It's great that you have a good heart. Let's cut the crap. You need to start taking some risks. You need to start to get out there a little bit. You need to be willing to get rejected. You got to be willing to push yourself a little bit. You're going to have to be more vulnerable. Time's running out on you. You're going to get out of the end of this life and wonder what you were capable of. How happy you could have been, what you could have given, how you could have loved, who you could have helped. Look at these guys. I got the clicker wrong. Here we go. I'm clicking. There we go. I'm clicking. I'm still clicking. Click away. I'm clicking down. There we go. If you just stand right there, this will probably work. I'm just kidding. I think I was clicking the wrong button. These are these dudes on day 2. Look at these beautiful men. That's Ollie right there in the middle. He got most of the deer, by the way. That's Victor standing right next to him. That was 5 years ago. These men are brothers now. They have group FaceTimes. They travel together. They do a dude's trip every year. Many of them have healed. A couple of them have got married. A couple of them have reconnected with children. There's Ollie again and Victor. They're best buds. That's what winning in your life can do for other people. This is not about you. In fact, if you keep making it about you, you'll never win. Because you're like me. You won't do anything for you. You're the type of person that when food comes to the table, you make sure everybody else eats first. And all your life, for the most part, that's hurt you. People have taken advantage of you. They've overlooked you, haven't they? But I can tell you there's a moment for good people. If you keep being good, you keep after it, you keep trying, you keep believing, you stay faithful, you grow yourself, you improve, you put yourself in rooms and situations that maybe some of you this morning thought about not even coming here. I don't know if I want to go down there and meet a bunch of strangers, probably just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. I don't belong in that room. They don't know how insecure I am, how inadequate I am, how I'm really not that motivated most of the time. Join the club. People ask my wife all the time, what's it like being married to him? She's like, he's just a person. He likes to lay on the couch and watch Netflix like everybody else does. But when it's time to go, I go. There's Ollie again. Now I tell you all this because we've now done 17 of these. We do another one for a bunch of autistic children. Now, I want to show you something because I want your dreams to go. Your dreams are about other people, I promise you. You making your dad proud of you, your family proud of you, your children proud of you, God proud of you. It'll never be about you. My dumb ass spent all these years making it about me. Once it became about other people, man, I'm almost superhuman. I met Wayne Dyer one time, the great speaker, running on the beach in Hawaii, and we watched the sun come up together. When we were done watching the sun come up, I was a young man. He goes, Ed, you're going to change the world. And it's not because you're probably the best damn communicator I've ever heard in my life. That's not why. It's because you're a good man. You've got good intentions. Ed, you need to start to attach your confidence to your intentions, not your ability. And I've never forgotten that. If my confidence was predicated on how good I think I am, man, I've been told since I was a little boy I'm not worth anything. The world treated me like I was. When you all say all these nice things about me, I love it. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know that I still believe any of that. But if you were to say to me, I think you're kind. I think you're good. I think you intend to help people. I do. So I do walk out here superhuman. Not because I'm talented. Every boardroom I've ever walked into, every meeting, I'm on the National Football Hall of Fame, man. To my right is President Bush, Bob Kraft from the Patriots, Roger Goodell, Tim Cook from Apple, and me? How do I hang in that room? Well, every time I walk in there, I remind them, I'm a good man. I'm here to serve. I'm here to make a difference. I walk out here today, there's precious soul. I'm here to serve. Now watch this. I just want to show you this video. The last group that came this winter, I just want you to watch their beautiful faces. Remember, before they got there, most of them hadn't smiled in 30 years, 20 years. You're here because of men and women like them. Some of them right this second are risking their lives in Iran for us. Right now as we're here, right? Watch these guys. They made the video when they got back. Look at these dudes. They're brothers now. Middle of the winter, freezing out there. Beautiful place too, huh? Yeah, they made that when they got back, unsolicited. That made every early morning I ever had in my life worth it. Every no I took worth it. Every hater I've ever had or critic in my own family. You know those people. What does she think she's doing? Did you go to that meeting? You went to that conference? Are y'all motivated now? I know exactly what that's like. Why are you changing? What's wrong with the way things are now? You don't think we're good enough anymore? All these things, these people around us keep feeding us to try to keep us where we are so we don't make them uncomfortable. Gandhi had this great saying, I will not let you walk through my mind with your dirty feet. Too many of you have people all your life been walking through your mind with their dirty feet, trying to keep you small, trying to keep you where they think you belong. I don't think you belong owning an island, but I do think you belong helping other people. And I do think that'll get you out of bed in the morning. Let me show you how worth it this is, just so you know, if we can go back up there on the screen, hopefully. I got a text from my caretaker who runs the island, Carrie. He said, we just loaded the deer on the Hope 3, that's one of our boats. He said, they're out there hunting, this was that last hunt. They got 10 today. They all thank you very much for doing this. One of the veterans has brain cancer, and this will probably be his last hunt. He shot 2 of the deer. I couldn't be there at this one. I said, oh my gosh, God bless him. And I called him that night, this man. He got off the boat the next day at 10:30 a.m. He passed away in his hotel room at 1 p.m. The last experience of his life was on Hope Island. His wife told me, I think he finally healed enough that he was willing to go home. Thank you. Come on. What if you just helped one person in your life through the work you're doing? You were born to do something great with your life. You know, when my dad got sober, my father was an alcoholic, he got sober, and after my dad died, I told my wife, I need to find the man that helped my dad get sober. I never thought about it, but this man, my dad was going to commit suicide the night he got sober. He had written a suicide note. They were trying to find my dad. We were at some church. They were trying to find my dad. And the whole time my dad was sober for 35 years, I remember thinking to myself, how do you do it? I don't know if it was in an alley or a bar, but some precious human being intervened and saved my family. Think about the profound effect of that. And I don't know who they are. I told my wife, I need to find this person. They saved my life. I wouldn't be here today without them. One human being. God's got a funny sense of humor, by the way. My name's Ed. It's just not a very cool name, right? My dad's name is Ed. You'll see a picture of him in a minute. My grandfather's name was Ed. I'm Edward Michael Joseph Mylett III. I stopped that crap with my son, just so you know. When my son was born, we named him Maximus. My wife went into labor, we were watching Gladiator. I'm like, I got it, that's it, babe. The curse ends. His middle name is Edward, but that's a whole other story. I finally found the person who saved my dad. Guess what his name is? Edward. That's not what's most amazing. I want you to listen. Your life's about to change right now. What qualified that precious man, Ed, to help my dad save our family and my dad's life? And the ripple effect is me. I've reached millions of people. He didn't know that night he helped my dad, which, by the way, was at a bar. What qualified him to help my dad? What were his qualifications? to live greatly. Because in that moment, he lived greatly, didn't he? A lot bigger deal than owning a Lambo or a jet. Just saved my family. The ripple effect of helping one human being is I'm his son and I've traveled the world. What were his qualifications? You think he was perfect? Think he had a great resume? By the way, probably had a degree in alcohol rehabilitation and recovery, right? What do you think? Yes or no? You ready? You know what qualified him to help my dad? Here you go. This is where your life changes. Listen. He was also a drug addict. He was also an alcoholic at one time. He had also lived in shame. He had also been a liar. You want to know why he was so qualified to help my dad? Because you're most qualified in this life to help the person you used to be. God wants to take your insecurities and your weaknesses and your sins and use it for good. You think you're disqualified because of your mistake, because of your sin, because of your setback, because of your family, because of some decision you've made. Maybe you don't think you're disqualified for any of those reasons. You just think you're disqualified because you've always been invisible. You've always been average, so that's just what you're always going to be. Well, that guy had all those thoughts, but yet he saved my dad's life. Hey, you used to struggle with mental health, and then you turn it around, you can help all those people. You used to not have any hope or joy in your life, or no personal development. You learn a little bit, you can help all those people. Look what Carrie's doing. Look what many of you are doing. You used to have a drug or alcohol problem or not know anything about business, and now you can help people who do. By the way, anecdote, guess how long that guy had been sober himself, that Ed? 31 days. So you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't got to know every dadgum step. A lot of us don't get started because you're like, well, what about this? And then when I get there, I won't know that. And what happens there? And I don't know that word, and I don't know that thing. That's not how it works. You just got to get started. Man, when Steve Jobs created Apple, I've interviewed Wozniak, his partner, many times. Tim Cook's a dear friend and neighbor of mine, just retired yesterday. Do you think when Jobs started this board company, he knew there'd be the internet, and then there'd be a Mac, and then there'd be a... He didn't know all that crap. He knew some of it. You can't know every step. He'd been sober 31 days. What he had was a heart to serve. You know what he had? And this is how it went down. He saw my dad. This dude, what he did for a living is he owned vending machines. He went into a bar at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've never told this story until right now. He went in to clean out his vending machine to get the money, and he saw my father at the bar, alone, in the middle of the afternoon, in a business suit. And he said, God told me to just go tell this man, I can help you. That's how it happened. He said, I don't want to go over there. I'm barely sober myself. I might go back to drinking too. And he said, the Holy Spirit told me, walk over. And he walked over, and my dad was drunk. And he said, brother, if you want it, I think I can help you. And my dad looked at him with his blue eyes and said, want what? And he goes, this madness to end. And my dad started to cry. I've never told this story. My dad started to cry. He said, I'm so tired of this. I just don't know how. And that Ed said to my dad, Ed, do you have a family? And my dad started to break down. I'm a terrible father. I'm a terrible husband. Ed said, do you want to change? Do you want to be better? My dad was drunk. He said, yeah, I've tried a lot of times, man. Ed said, I think I can help you. I might know some people who could help you. He took my dad to a meeting. Right then, that minute, they went to a meeting. And my dad went away for 3 weeks after that. When he got back, I said, Dad, are you never going to drink again? He goes, Eddie, I can't promise you that. I promised you that before. He said, here's what I can promise you. I'm not going to drink for one more day at a time. Thus, the power of one more. My dad stacked up one more day, every single day, the rest of his life, and never had another drink. The reason I tell you that is maybe you just need to decide not to quit on yourself for one more day. Maybe you need to give it one more try at going forward in your life. Dang, this is good right now, huh? Right? Like, God, thank you, Lord, right? So how do you do it? Here's how you do it. Let me tell you one more thing about the island. This right here, this is Fred. When I bought the island, there was 2 eagles on the island, Fred and Wilma. They'd lived there 20 years before me. Beautiful couple. I don't know if you ever seen a bald eagle. You do here in person. They're majestic, right? This day I found Fred under this tree looking like that, not very good. I was very concerned about him. About an hour later, I got him to come out from under the tree and get some food, but he couldn't fly. So I grabbed Will, the guy who takes care of my horses there. I said, get Fred together and take him to the bird sanctuary, make sure he's okay. We took him to the bird sanctuary. Will called me from the sanctuary in tears because Will had worked on that island for 18 years prior to me buying it. He said, Ed, we have to put Fred down. He has to go to heaven. He can't fly anymore. And when that happened, I brought the bird sanctuary people out and I said, what happens to Wilma now? And she said, oh, she'll pass in the next year or 2. She's old anyway. And at this age, when they lose their mate, they kind of just give in. It's really beautiful. They've spent their whole lives together. So about 3 weeks later, I was on a run in the morning and I heard this like a woodpecker almost on these rocks. And I'm like, do we have woodpeckers now? What's going on? And then so I saw Yuri, one of the other workers there. I said, hey, what's that? And I was riding my horse. I said, what's that noise? And he goes, he's from Russian. He goes, Ed, I don't know. I think Wilma's killing herself. She keeps ramming into the rocks. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw her that day and half of her feathers were gone. And I'm like, oh, she's dying. So I called the lady from the bird sanctuary. I said, we got a problem. I said, she's doing it early. She's destroying her like beak and she's losing all of her, she's dying. She goes, oh my God, Ed, that's not what's happening. She goes, about 5% of the time when their mate passes, these eagles decide to completely remake themselves. What she was doing, Ed, was sharpening her beak. She is now in the process of plucking all of the feathers off of herself that no longer serve her. There's a very high likelihood she may live another 10 or 15 years as a result of this and create an entire new life by sharpening her beak and plucking away all the things that no longer serve her. This is the process of transformation, of changing every life. You sharpen your beak like what you're doing today. And then you begin to evaluate what beliefs no longer serve me about myself, about other people. What relationships do I need to pluck away? What negative thinking? What behaviors? And when you begin, success is oftentimes a process of removal, not addition. For me becoming successful was removing all these negative and limiting beliefs I had about myself. What I was capable of, what I was like in the world, what life could mean, what real happiness was. And by the way, Wilma did that, so guess what happened? She got a whole new life and a new dude. That's Ricky. They got a whole new nest they built on another part of the island. She started a whole new life. Let me show you something. This is her flying around. She's the leader, by the way. Now you can't tell from this video. By the way, any golfers in here? This is my 3rd hole. You'll see the 3rd hole here. Every hole on a golf course is an oceanfront hole, by the way. That's where we're still building it. But look at that view when you hit off the par 3. That's only about the 5th best hole. But anyway, she flies around about 70 miles an hour, wingspan 8 feet.
Look at that.
She's a freakazoid now. She's like a young woman again. She's completely remade.
Coming back.
Today you could make that one decision to remake yourself. I came all the way here. By the way, I haven't spoken for money. They paid me a lot. But my reason for doing this was not money starting 15 years ago.
Yes.
It's impact on people. And my hope is that there's somebody in here today who goes, you know what? I'm going to change my life. I'm going to the next level. It's quiet. It's one decision. I don't know what that decision is. Maybe it's plucking away a relationship. Maybe it's recommitting to your marriage. Maybe it's getting out of a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's not serving you. Maybe it's evaluating these stupid negative thoughts you have about yourself. Maybe it's thinking you're too old or too young or too black or too white or too whatever. All these lies you keep telling yourself. By the way, there's their new nest. And then just FYI, that's cool. They just had a baby. That's their new baby. That's my hot wife. Met her in kindergarten, so it wasn't a money thing. Want to know why I fell in love with her? She let me copy off her paper all the way through high school. True story. That's their baby. You want to remake your life? Sharpen your beak. Pluck away the feathers. You begin to change your life. Can I get an amen to that? Yes or no? Amen. Dang, man, I'm getting goosies. I'm going too long. Let me see what time it is. I don't usually talk. Gee whiz, I am talking too long. Hey, I just sold something. That's cool. Just sold a house. Anyway, I can't believe that just happened. It's on my phone. All right. What I want to shift into now is, this is hard for me, but I think it's worth covering. I don't think you'll do anything for you. Just my belief about you. I want you to think about your life. Has there ever been anybody who believed in you when you were a little girl or a little boy? Not all of you had that, but some of you did. When you were just with this person, they just look at you. Maybe it was grandpa, grandma, your mom, your dad, teacher, coach, auntie, I don't know. They would just look at you and you felt special. They're probably the only person, if you're lucky, you have one of those people. A lot of you don't, but some of you do. You know what I mean? They would just look at you. Mine was my papa, my dad's dad. I'm named after him. I'm his oldest grandson. He picked me up on Sundays. My grandfather was a World War II vet, stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. Fourth grade education. The reason he has a fourth grade education, his dad died when he was in fourth grade. The way his dad died is he drowned in a gutter in Boston in front of a bar, drunk. That's where I come from. That's what I come from. The first Ed Mylett drowned in a gutter. But he'd pick me up on Sundays. We'd go get donuts for all my cousins. And he'd be my big papa. He's this huge dude to me. And he'd look at me when he was driving. He'd say, Eddie, you're going to do something great with your life. I said, I am, big papa. Oh, yeah, you're special. You were born to do something great. That's why I say it to every group I talk to. He goes, you know, you're my favorite. Don't tell your cousins. I said, okay, Papa. Every time there'd be another grandkid born, he'd call me and goes, your cousin Peter was born today, Eddie, 7 pounds, 3 ounces. I'm like, and I'd get jealous. He's so amazing. I go, he is, big Papa. He goes, you're still my favorite. I said, okay. Any of you have anybody like that? Half of you? Yeah. So let me just say something to those of you that were blessed to have that. You ready? They were right. They were right. Make them proud of you. If they've passed away, honor them with who you become. By the way, God looks at you that way. If you need me, you can have me. So here's why I say all this to you. I think in life, you all have somebody who sacrificed for you to be here today. If you really thought about it. Some of you have ancestors that literally died for you to get here. Gave up everything where they used to live to come here. Some of you come from slaves. They were tortured and beaten so that you could have this life today. Some of you have a mom, like my mom, who endured an alcoholic and drug-addicted husband. My mom never bought herself anything. My mom never took credit for anything. She just held our family together. I remember when I was 16 going into my mom's closet for something and just thinking, these are the same clothes my mom had when I was 1 and 2 and 3 years old. She never bought herself anything. Some days her husband wouldn't come home. My mom still got up and made breakfast for everybody that morning, packed our lunch, never let us know what was going on. There's been people that have quietly sacrificed for you to be here. Am I right about that? Yes or no? You got someone in your family who's just this beautiful person who just loves your family. And the reason they did that unknowingly is for you to be in here today. And for you to think about, maybe you ought to start earning it. Maybe it's not about what other people think about you. Maybe it's about earning it for someone else. I want to earn it from my dad. That was hard to quit drinking. When I get to heaven someday, I want to go see my entire family. There's Dad. There's a baby we just lost in our family, which I'll tell you about in a minute. I want to hug my grandparents, but I can promise you what I'm going to say real quick after I see my family. Hey, where's Ed? Where's Ed? The one that saved my family. And I want to go over there and I want to hug him and I want to thank him. Thank you for changing our family's life. When you get to heaven, you can't earn your way to heaven, but if you got there right now, how long would the line of people be to thank you for what you did for them? And would you like that line to be a little longer? then you got to earn it. I'm going to play you a video from one of my 3 favorite movies, Saving Private Ryan. There's a beautiful scene with Matt Damon and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was his leader that sacrificed, and Tom Hanks is about to die on the battlefield, and he's shaking and he can't really talk. And he says one thing to Matt Damon: earn this. When you hear that whisper from him, I want you to hear it from the person in your family that you just thought of. Later in the scene, I believe everything life's about will be asked by old Matt Damon. I want you to listen. He's going to ask his wife 2 questions in this scene. I think we could take all the personal development seminars in the world and distill it down to these 2 questions. And it's the 2 questions that matter in life only. So I'll play for you the scene, and you're going to cry. Make sure the I lived a good life. Tell them I'm a good man. I'm pretty sure I've been with people recently that have passed. You get to the end of your life, just tell me I lived a good life. Tell me I'm a good person. It's not really all that more complicated than that. I think these people that have sacrificed you are those angels on your shoulder that Tom Hanks talked about in the beginning of the scene. How cool is it that we're here today thinking about our own lives this deeply and who we want to be? The fact that you're emotional, it means something about you. You got the heart, it may sound hokey, you got the heart of a champion. You want to be somebody. All your life you've wanted to make a difference. And all I'm trying to do is illustrate to you that you know this and that it's true and that it's not too late. And sometimes it's just a matter of holding on for one more day. It's okay to be emotional. By the way, when I get out of here and I'm driving back to Salt Lake, I promise you, I will be bawling my eyes out, thinking about my own life. Am I earning it, Dad? Am I earning it, Papa? Am I earning it, Lord? I came a long way to be with you here today. And when I get my fuel from is I want to earn it. People have changed my life. I'm an average, ordinary person. The idea that I know presidents of the United States, they ask me for counsel, pro athletes, it blows my mind. Me, of all people? Why me? All I know is I'm just going to keep giving. I'm not going to think I have to have it all figured out every room I walk into. Let me show you one more quick video. This beautiful soul, her name is Ella Blumenthal. Let me tell you what she survived. The Holocaust. Concentration camp. You know how she survived that experience? One more day at a time. It's all about the power of one more rep, one more phone call, one more shot, one more contact, one more belief in yourself. Try again one more time. Hold on for one more day. I remember I was going to quit my business once, and my dad goes, hey, maybe you should. You are going broke. Things aren't going well. He goes, do me a favor. Just don't quit for today. Hold on for one more day. See how you feel tomorrow morning. And you know what? I wanted to quit the next day too, but not quite as much. And then I went to the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and now I'm here with you. Listen to this beautiful woman take you through. Her cousin wanted to throw them. They lost their whole family. Her cousin said, let's just jump on the electrical fence and end it. Imagine these two little girls. Sweet, precious little girls, mom, dad, grandma, sister, brother, all the cousins gone. And the cousin says to little Ella, let's just jump on the fence. Let's just fry. People were doing that left and right. Think about that. You're going through a tough time right now. Compared to what? Compared to what?
My name is Ella Blumenthal. And I'm an Auschwitz survivor. The one thing I want people to remember is that throughout my suffering and fight for survival, I never lost hope. When I was in Auschwitz, I had already lost my entire family and survived only with my niece Roma. She begged me to end our suffering by throwing ourselves onto the electrified fence because she said that the only way out of Auschwitz was through the chimney. I convinced her to wait one more day, and then again to wait another day, because I wasn't ready to die. I wanted to live. I am now 103 years old, and I have lived my life always believing that tomorrow will be better than today, and that I will never give up, no matter what. My name is Ella Blumenthal. Remember this.
Pretty beautiful, huh? You give her a round of applause. All right, so I'm going to finish with a couple ideas, about 7 minutes. Pretty emotional day so far, would you agree? I've kind of thrown the kitchen sink at you. Now, here comes the whole house. I'd like you to think about your family as I talk about this last part. By the way, this is my dad, and that's the guy in the Saving Private Ryan video. Pretty similar resemblance, would you agree? My dad's my hero. Not because he was perfect, but because he changed. You're one decision away from changing your life. What's the decision? What's the decision? I should just show you that this is me and my dad when I was a little boy. Great picture of me. That's when my dad was still drinking. Thank you to my team for the goofiest possible picture of me. I miss my dad. This is me and my dad at my sister Erica's wedding. I always throw this in there just to remind people at one point, he and I were both pretty good looking. I'm not sure what happened. But that's me and my dad. I miss him. This is a picture of my dad, my grandfather, and I. Those are the three Ed Myletts. That's Papa in the middle. 2 days after this picture, Papa died. I remember when my Papa died, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, Dad's moved into Papa's seat, and now I'm in Dad's seat. Like that, time's flying by. It was like yesterday, I was in that van looking up at him, 4, 5, 6 years old. Now he's gone. Dad's in Papa's seat, and I'm in Dad's seat. Like a flicker, man. Life gets faster and faster, doesn't it, as you get older? This is my dad and I golfing. My favorite thing to do in the world was to play golf with my father. Neither one of us very good golfers. The reason I loved it, it was 5 hours with my best friend. Listen to me real close here. Don't you think about my family when I cover these last 5 minutes. Think about your family. My dad was my best friend. He knew everything about me. I knew everything about him. My dad could care less about any of my wealth. My dad died, I think it was probably worth $600-700 million. My jet was parked about a block and a half from where my dad lived, where he took his walks every day. You know how many times my dad flew on my jet? 0. Never even got on it. My dad would ask me, are you tithing? You giving your money away? I'd say, Dad, let's jump on the jet. Let's go play Pebble Beach. My dad would say, I don't need to go to Pebble Beach to be with my best friend. We'll play right here at El Prado. That's where we played all our golf. My dad would ask me, you giving away most of your money? You calling your sisters? Yeah, I'm calling. Okay. I don't give a crap about your big house. I care what kind of a man you are. We played all our golf Saturday mornings at El Prado Golf Course in luxurious Chino Hills, California. El Prado Golf Course is known for 2 things. One, it's on a cow pasture. So on a misty morning, fragrant as you can possibly stink out, very malodorous location to play golf. The second thing it's known for is Chino Prison. The back nines on Chino Prison. After my dad died, I finally found out why we played golf there, and I never knew. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Want to know why we played there? Because at 6 a.m. every Saturday for 35 years, my dad did an AA meeting in the prison with the prisoners. Because you're most qualified to help those you used to be. I miss him a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I have to say it quickly because I'm over on my time. I've had a really hard couple years since he's been gone. I've had a heart attack. My best friend betrayed me. I had someone scam me out of $10 million. The hardest thing that happened in June. My little sister Erica was blessed. She was pregnant with identical twin boys. She delivered them June 6th. Justice and Cassius, good looking dudes. We're all in the room, I'll never forget it. Nieces, nephews, my mom, my other 2 sisters. And she's got Justice here and Cassius here laying on her. She's just so happy. And about 40 minutes after that, something happened with Cassius. The doctors rushed in front of our whole family, took him. I went into the other room. We could hear them working on him in there. And about 40 minutes after that, they came back in and let our family know he had passed away. He lived about an hour. Particularly difficult losing a child you just gave birth to when there's an identical one right here. Every time you look at Justice, you think of Cassius. My sister laid there for 7 hours with both boys. One breathing and one not. She named Justice because now it's just us. And I remember thinking, I just wish my dad was here. He'd know what to say to his daughter. These people in your life that you see every day are precious, but you don't realize it. Someday you'll see him for the last time. And I remember thinking, I just wish Dad was here. This day, my dad and I were golfing. Turns out it was the last round of golf I ever played with my dad. He was breathing odd that day. My dad had a deep voice like mine, but this day he was, good job, kiddo. I'm like, what's going on with you, man? So I got a pain in my chest. I said, how long you had it? He said, 11 months. I said, Dad, you're going to the doctor Monday. Tuesday, my dad had a surgery, 12 hours long, removed a tumor in his chest the size of a football. He was diagnosed with liposarcoma that day. My dad got the cancer. He said, Eddie, I'll fight this once, but I'm not going to get all shriveled up. I'm not going to lose my hair. I'm not doing all that. So that's okay, fight it. That's not what happened. My dad fought it for 8 years. By the way, my dad never physically played golf again. Every day for 8 years, my dad got dressed in a white shirt and golf glasses to golf with me. I taught him all the visualization techniques I teach in the Power of One More. 5 hours a day, every day, my dad went shot by shot with me playing golf. Dimple by dimple, roll of the ball. Every time I'd see him, I'd say, I'm not going to look at this picture. My big, strong dad. Dad, why are you going through this? Why are you suffering? You know what he said to me? After 8 years of chemo, radiation, proton therapy, surgery, chemo, experimental chemo, all that stuff. He said, Eddie, I didn't know something when I got the cancer. I said, what's that, Dad? He goes, never forget this. When you're threatened with never having one more day with your family, you'll do anything to get one more day. I'm in pain, but I'm not suffering. It's not suffering when I get to have dinner with Mom. Maybe if I get one more day, I'll hear about one of your speeches where you changed someone's life. Maybe I'll get to one of my granddaughter's weddings. Maybe I get to hug one of my little girls still. Maybe I get to Max's golf tournament or Jack's basketball game. I'll do anything. You think about your family, not mine. You got me? We got 4 minutes. This is my dad in the hospital during COVID. See what he's wearing? Got dressed every day to golf with me. We couldn't come up and hug him, couldn't kiss him, nothing. He was up there alone. This day he called me. Hey, what you doing? I said, I'm in the parking lot, Dad. I'm writing a chapter of the book. I'm 100 yards away. I just can't touch you. I'm right here. Okay. I said, what are you doing? Just play golf with my best friend. I shot 67. I said, good for you. He goes, you played like shit. Swear to God. He goes, my lunch just got here. I got to go. That's the lunch. Think about your family, not mine. Phone rang again in an hour. Thank God it was still my dad. This is where my life changed. All these one mores in my life. What you doing? I'm still down here. What are you doing? I wasn't honest. I'm not doing good. I said, okay. Eddie. Yeah, Dad. I want to go home. What? Eddie, take me home. I want to be in my home with Mom. And get your sisters and come over. Just be with me. I said, Dad, we'll get you another steroid shot. You're going to rally. You know that. I'll never forget this one more. He goes, Eddie, please. I have one more day. I want to be in my home with my family. Please, take me home. My heart sank. I hung up and I called his doctor. I said, Doc, Dad's talking kind of crazy. I'll never forget this. He said, Ed, send an ambulance and take your father home. I said, what? He goes, Ed, they know. I said, who's they? He said, Ed, someone is going to die. Take your dad home. That's 3 hours later. That's my dad coming home one more time. Someday you're going to come home one more time. Who do you want to be in that moment? What do you want your life to have been? What emotions do you want to have experienced? What difference do you want to have made? Who do you want to become? Someday you're going to come home one more time. And I know you think, everybody else is going to die, not me. I got forever. All I know is Cassius got 1 hour here on earth. I had a friend last week, 43 years old, that died. Garrett Anderson from the California Angels, 53 years old, died last week. I don't know how much longer you got, but I know time's running out on you. By the way, that's my mom, watching her husband of 50 years come home one last time. That man or woman you love in your life, you will see each other one last time. What if you started to treat your family more often like it was the last time you'd see them? The last time you talked to them, the last meeting you went to, the last time. This is my dad with 1 more hour left. Hey, someday you're going to have 1 more hour. And by the way, like a flicker, it happened. Like a flicker. We were watching him come home. Like a flicker, he was in the hospital. Like this, we were in the living room. Like this, we were in the kitchen. Like this, we were golfing. Just like that, we were with Papa. Just like that, we were at the wedding. Just like that, I was a little boy. It's like that, man. The flashes of your life. The story of precious you. The moment you were born, he made you in his image. He's been holding you in the palm of his hand. You're never alone. You're put here for a reason. I think it's in a quiet moment when no one's watching and it's not on Instagram. And there's another precious human being and you say, I think I can help you. Just like Ed helped Ed. And you won't know the ripple effect of helping that one person, but you're planting seeds in heaven. Tell me I've lived a good life. Tell me I'm a good man. Earn it. That's why I came here today, not to fill you up with a bunch of rah-rah. By the way, after this, oops, I'm going the wrong way. After this, my dad had 1 hour left. He woke up about 20 minutes after this, and he looked at me with his blue eyes. I'm so proud of you. My whole life was worth it in that moment. I'm so proud of you. I can't believe God gave you to me as my only son. And then he went, and he closed his eyes. 20 minutes later, my dad took one last breath. And the story of my dad ended there, except through me. Someday you'll take one last breath. You ought to think about that. Who you want to be in that moment. See, in every family, by the way, after my dad died, I went up to help my mom with all of his stuff, and I found all these index cards with all these dates on them and names and initials of people. I said, Mom, there's hundreds of these index cards. I said, Mom, what are these index cards with these dates and stuff? He goes, oh, Eddie, those are all the people your dad helped get sober. That's their sobriety birthday. There's about 1,100 of them. He sponsored all of them. And what he would do is he'd call them on their sobriety birthday and just say, hey, one more day at a time. You want to know why all those index cards exist? Because you're most qualified to help those you used to be. Be thinking about that. Hey, listen to this last. When I was a little boy, I would look at rich families or even just happy families, honestly. And I wondered what it was like in their house. No yelling, no stress. Who are these families? I used to wonder, who are these people? Like, I want to be in their family, or whether they were rich or happy or both. You know what I found out? This is cool. That happy family or that rich family, somewhere back in their lineage, in their history, they weren't. They weren't. Until one thing happens. The one in every family shows up. In every family, there's one person who changes that family forever. That says, it stops with me. We're a happy family now. We're a giving family. We're a good family. Heck, we're a prosperous family. In every family, there's the one. And by the way, you're not too late. You're not too young. You're not too screwed up. You're not too average. You're not too ordinary to be the one. And by the way, if you come from a good family, then be the next one. How do I know if I'm the one, Ed? I don't know. All I know is you never pick me. Shy, introverted, not super high IQ, alcoholic dad, drug addicted family, great grandpa drowned in a gutter. Here's how I think you're the one. If while I was talking, you got emotional, I believe that's the Holy Spirit, whatever you believe, frequency, energy, whatever the heck you want to call it, saying, hey, psst, you're the one. If you felt a little tear, a little jolt, a little inspiration, a little emotion, that's confirmation you're the one in your family. I came all the way here to say that to you. Let me tell you this last. I want to go to heaven. And you don't earn your way into heaven. But when I get there, I have a hallucination of what happens. Listen to me last. I think you get introduced to the man or woman you could have been. Probably not, but it's fun to think about. What if the Lord went, I made you with a story and an image and a plan. I'd like you to meet her. That's her right there. And when I get there, I want to be able to go, man, I've been chasing you all my life, man. Here's what heaven looks like to me. The person you were made to be, when you get there, goes, well done. You did it. You maxed out your life. You gave it everything. And by the way, you don't get to heaven by doing anything. That's grace. But you get what I'm saying. Hell is you get there and you're complete strangers. And you live with that forever. You're one decision away from changing your life. And I want you to get something from me today. The reason you're emotional is you feel that I love you. And then I believe in you. And then I care about you. Whatever little time I got left, if they give me another heart attack, I'd be honored if you would carry this legacy. Something you felt today, something we gave you, and you pay it forward somehow. Share that with someone, help someone. When you get that calling, hey, I think I'm gonna go for it. Go for it. Take that risk. Max out your life. Be the one in your family. Can I get an amen to that? Amen. I'm so far over on my time. You should give me a good applause. This was a good talk today. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can I say something about you? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to tell you one thing. This lady put this event on for all of you, for this community. She lost money doing this. She really wants to bring something special to this area. And she did a lot of sacrifice to make this happen. And you're all just beautiful people led by a beautiful soul right here. So thank you for having me so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you.